How are we doing today? I'm your host, Craig Whitney, Legacy Forge podcast, where we take franchisees in the home service sector and solopreneurs from the simple how to the why not. Today's episode. Wow. Have you ever felt you cannot out execute who you are? Have you ever had that feeling? Yeah. I found that franchisees and solopreneurs, we're at this pinnacle now, they're going maximum speed, stuck in this how doing mode. They just don't stop constantly, unless they've got an already systematized business, but most of them are all just glorified subcontractors, flogging and outbound solopreneurs and wondering why everything else in their life is suffering, okay? Yeah. So in this video, or by the end of this podcast, you will have learnt that identity drives behavior. You'll have learnt behavior always returns to identity. Yeah. You can't outperform your self-image for long. Yeah. Excellence is an identity before it's a result. Arete is excellence of being. Yes, I'll always come back to my Arete method. Excellence of just being, because it teaches you the framework to just be instead of do. Yeah. We're in an age of, instead of just doing more, we need to learn to be. Yeah. Doing, less doing, more being. So that's what I'll teach today in this episode. Yeah. So let me share a bit of a story on this. So identity drives behavior, yeah? Most people think success starts with better tactics. It doesn't. It starts with identity, or who you are, right? Who you be becomes what you do. Yeah? If you're owning a franchise or a solo business, it becomes the art of stepping into who you need to be rather than what you do. More tactics isn't going to solve the problem, yeah? It doesn't start with better tactics. It starts with identity. You can give two people the same strategy, another business coach, another results coach teaching how to, but if the identity doesn't shift to upgrade, the strategy will just be another how-to tactic that could get off YouTube or Udemy or something like that amongst the hundreds of thousands of hours that they're probably already scrolling, yeah? You can give two people the same strategy, as I said, the same AI tools, the same franchise system, and the same opportunity. One thrives, the other struggles. Yeah? Why? The difference isn't more information. It's not another tactic. It's identity. And I'll always come back to that because this is what I teach. Yeah? Is identity. Leveling up. Now, you might not wake up in the morning and say, I need a new identity. No. Another way of framing that is, who am I choosing to be? If I'm going to buy a promise, a system, step into a system, who do I need to be within that system? And yes, you can follow the marching orders of the system and the uniformity and nothing wrong with that. And some of the best franchises work. You think McDonald's, you think a $2 million investment would have a high failure rate? No. It has a 95 to 98% success rate. And if you step 1% out of that system, they take it away from you. That's why it's the creme of the la creme of franchises. Solopreneurs, on the other hand, you're building the system as you go, right? You're building the plane as you fly. Bit of a different kettle of fish over here. However, a recent study showed solo independent businesses have a failure rate of a 95% in the first year against franchise systems who at least do 3 years before failure. And by the time the third year kicks in, it's kind of the do or die. Yeah? So some teaching points. I want you to take a pen and paper out and write a few things down here. Yeah? Every decision flows from who you are and who you choose to be. Behavior is a reflection of belief. The best, and I mean the best predictor of new behavior is past behavior. Sustainable change begins with becoming, not doing. Doing more won't change. So who does the business need to be to become for the next level? Yes, I've just got some bullet points here that I'm glancing over. Yeah? So number 2, behavior always returns to identity. You can't outperform your self-image for long. No. People often achieve success only to sabotage it because their identity or their state of being hasn't caught up with their circumstances. You're trying to install new operating software on an old identity. It just doesn't work. This is why the failure rate in business and franchise systems is so high. They're really good at teaching the tactics, the strategy, the how to. Follow this, follow that, the SOP, the manuals. But they forget one thing. They do not teach you how to be or who to be. That you have to learn on your own or invest in a coach. Yeah? Eventually, they return to what's familiar. If new behavior isn't checked, held accountable, held to a higher standard, you'll fall back. So the subcontractor, he buys, say, a lawnmower business, right, or a franchise, he attempts to change his identity, steps into that new behavior, isn't held to a higher standard, rather just jams more business tactics down his throat, will default to his past behavior. Because the best predictor of new behavior is what? It's past behavior, right? This is why diets fail, businesses plateau, relationship repeat patterns, leaders do the old overwhelm. Remember, burnout doesn't exist. Burnout's bullshit, right? Don't ever give me that on burnout because I will drill you like no tomorrow. It just simply doesn't exist. It's a bit like depression, right? It doesn't exist. Don't ever give me that. I will drill you. Your nervous system protects what it believes is normal. Yeah. If your identity says I'm just surviving, you'll create survival. If your identity says I'm a leader, you'll make leadership decisions. I am, I can, and I must. 3 important affirmations to put in front of sentences. Yeah? So self-image sets your performance ceiling. Habits reinforce identity. So repetitive behavior. Bob Proctor says the art of repetition. Remember the old days of writing lines? Right? Instead we want to write the right lines, right? Write your goal 100 times a day. Write a new belief 100 times a day. That's right, 100 times, yeah? Behavior with identity just creates inconsistency, more hard work, yeah? And the third point is excellence is an identity before it's a result. Arete, remember arete is Greek for excellence of being, right? That's the meaning of arete. The Greeks didn't define excellence by trophies or they defined it by character. It wasn't what did you achieve, but who did you become? That's the shift. Instead of asking, what do I need to do? Ask yourself, who do I need to be so these actions become natural? When be changes, when do becomes consistent, have becomes inevitable. Yeah? Yeah? Most people chase results. High performers chase habits, rituals. Great leaders build identity because you cannot consistently do what your identity doesn't believe you deserve to have. Fair enough? Fair enough. So the three things I'm leaving you with today. Yeah? 1, identity drives behavior. Write these down. 2, behavior always returns to identity because the best predictor of new behavior is what? Past behavior. I don't give a shit what people say. I watch what they do. I watch what their body language does. I watch what their eye patterns do. I listen for their tonality. I don't care what you blah, 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 blah here. I don't care. It's not what I'm listening for. I'm looking for eye pattern. I'm looking for body language. I'm looking for the feet position. I'm looking for how confident you speak. That tells me belief. That tells me conviction. Number 3, excellence is an identity before its result. That's right. Comes back to Bob Proctor is you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to back yourself 100%. If you're going to be the best franchisee, be the best franchisee there is out of the whole franchise network. And believe it first. Write those lines. I am the best. It might sound like it's woo-woo, but it's not. It's anchoring in your mind that new belief, that new way of being. No? So write those down. Most people chase results. High performers chase habits. As I said earlier, great leaders build identity. Yeah? This week, stop asking, what do I need to do? Stop it. Stop flogging yourself for more work. That doesn't pay off. Ask yourself, who do I need to become? Because businesses and franchisees don't transform lives. People transform businesses. And the greatest investment you'll ever make isn't in another strategy, isn't in another hack, and for the better term, isn't another breathwork session or a sound healing session or go out in the wilderness and play drums or any of that Panadol effects kind of work, or another system or another AI tool. It's in becoming the person you're capable of leading. Yeah? It's becoming. Note that word down. It's becoming. You cannot out-execute your identity. That's right. Who you be becomes more important than what you do. Who I step into becomes more important than what I need to do. Once I step into that new being state, as Arete says, that new identity, or that virtus, as the Greeks have termed it, who I need to be on a daily basis, then the how-to works itself out. Yeah? Alrighty, guys, that's it for today. Signing off. It's Craig Whitney from the Legacy Forge podcast. Another episode. A little bit different today. I'm offering some one-on-one 30-minute sessions at the moment. Just connect. Let's just have a conversation. Links are in the comments. Like, subscribe and follow on all the platforms. Spotify and Apple Podcast and YouTube for the video. Alrighty, guys. Signing off. See you next time. Bye for now.